Hi, Virgo. Welcome to your weekly love reading. I hope you're doing well. There's a lot showing up in your energy this week, so let's dive in and see what Spirit wants to reveal about your love life right now, Virgo. So we have Justice, the Hanged Man. So the Hanged Man, okay. The Queen of Swords, the Magician, Ten of Wands, the Star, Eight of Cups, Ace of Cups, the Seven of Swords, and we have the Four of Coins. Okay, so the Four of Coins is sometimes, especially like in a love reading, it's kind of like holding on too tight. So for those who are already coupled in relationship or married, you might kind of feel tempted to hold on to your partner even tighter. You might feel that you're losing them or you're not really giving someone enough space for those who are in a relationship. For those who are single, it can mean that also that you're choosing to focus more on your job or material things instead of your love life. Like you want to hold on to like what you have and not take a risk. Okay, so Justice, a major arcana. So this card has to do, usually with karma. So in a love reading, I feel like there's a very karmic relationship that is either playing itself out right now. And karmic relationships sounds romantic, but they're very difficult. So I can see why you would have the Four of Coins here, because you might feel, those who are already coupled, you might feel like you're losing your partner. You might feel like you have to hold on tighter. That's not the feeling that I get. I feel like they want you having more trust. Justice also has to do with kind of setting things right. Someone is the underdog. Again, for those who are already in a relationship, I feel like any conflicts that you've had, they have to be resolved. You can't be at each other's throats. Like I'm getting, this cannot continue if you want to stay together as a couple, stay married. There has to be more balance. Make sure that, again, that someone in the relationship is not being the underdog, you're not being stepped on. But I'm also getting, this has to do with kind of karma playing itself out, married or single. And over here you have the Hanged Man. So, this is a card of being in limbo. And it could be for those who are already coupled that, like I said, there's something going on here with Justice where things are off balance. And maybe, you're not equals. With Justice, someone's the underdog and the relationship is in limbo. You're stuck, basically, when you get the Hanged Man. Again, you might kind of feel the need to hold on to your partner tighter. Even if you are the one who's the underdog, maybe you just don't want to lose a partner. You don't want to be single again. This is saying that somebody needs to change the way that they're thinking. Whoever it is that's kind of like maybe not treating the other partner with respect, like something has to change. It could even be that they, if you're in a relationship that maybe you don't understand why you're in this relationship. I feel like there's something that you have to learn. There's something that you're meant to learn, because like I said, this has to do sometimes with karma. So for those who are single, yeah, I kind of feel like there's a very karmic relationship around you, with Justice. But I feel like you're stuck. Like maybe you go back and forth, and I feel like there's a lot of uncertainty here. Like you don't really know, you're not taking action on your love life. Again, you're kind of choosing to hold on to what you have, which could be, the fact that you're single and that you're happy with the way things are. You're focusing more on your career or your money. But then again, when it comes to your love life, you're not going anywhere. You're still hanging there. You're stuck with this very, karmic relationship right next to you. I feel like it's someone that's very close to your life in some way. And over here we have the Queen of Swords. Now for some of you, this can be like your partner. So this can be someone who's an air sign, sun, moon, or rising. Now if your partner is not an air sign, this is just telling you, like, kind of open your eyes, see the truth of what's going on in your relationship. Especially if there's something going on, like I mentioned over here with Justice, where someone is not like being fair to the other person. This is a card of clarity and truth. Admit the truth to yourself of what's going on in your love life. what is not balanced here? For those who are coupled, is it because, what is it that you're missing? What is it that your partner is not sharing? Or what are you not sharing about how you're feeling about this relationship? Don't stay in limbo here where you don't really know and you're not moving forward. For those who are single, same thing applies. This is just telling you that it's time for you to really kind of see the truth of maybe like why you're choosing to stay single, why you're choosing to, just kind of keep things the way that they are. I feel like it's time for clarity, and I feel like you will receive this clarity in one way or another. Okay, so down here we have the Magician, the major arcana lined up with the major arcana. So they're telling you, especially seeing it right beneath Justice, which I felt like was something like a relationship off balance. They're telling you that you have to do something about this. Like I said, the Hanged Man is there telling you if something is off balance in a relationship, you don't want to see the truth, then you're going to stay in this energy of the Hanged Man. But the Magician is telling you that you have the power to change this. So again, if you are the underdog and your spouse is being disrespectful to you, maybe cheating on you or just not treating you with respect, they're telling you that you have all the power to change what's happening in your love life. You can make magic happen. For those who are single, the same applies. You can make magic happen. If you feel like everyone that you meet is a wrong partner or not a good fit for you, you can attract the right partner to you. But definitely not going to attract it in this energy of like, I'll just hold on to what I have and just kind of pass on everything. They're telling you this week that you can be the Magician, and the Magician does not show up for everyone every single month. It just means that you're really powerful. Also, I'm getting watch your thoughts. Because if there's any kind of thoughts of giving up, and I do see that here with the Ten of Wands, especially for those who are single, this can be a week where your love life goes nowhere. You're powerful, you're in control of your life with the Magician, you make things happen. You can make really great things happen. And I do see some great things here. The Star is here, which represents your hopes and wishes. You have the ability to manifest this week, whether it's healing a relationship or uniting with a partner. You can make it happen by seeing yourself as in control. It can also, with this energy, you can also, if you misuse it or don't realize you have it, you can also make yourself highly miserable by refusing to make the changes you have to. And I do see this energy here in the Ten of Wands. You see this person kind of carrying something really uncomfortably on their back. And this card does represent being just exhausted and fed up. And your energy is really low and your spirits are low. Again, the Magician is telling you that you can change this. You can change this. I especially feel that this is true for those who are in a relationship that's troubled or a marriage. If you're fed up because your partner, again, going back to the Justice card, someone is the underdog, someone is not treating the other person with respect or being fair, you're in limbo, you have to kind of do something to change this. You have to speak up for yourself. I feel like here somebody, it's just, they've had enough. When this card comes up, you've reached your boiling point, you can't take any more. It's just like, that's it. You're all burned out. But this card can also, for those who are single, it can mean that you're just like, in this energy. That's why you're choosing to focus more on material things, because maybe that's, you feel that you have a sense of control over. But I don't know. I mean, when I look at this card and I focus on singles, I feel like this is only going to like work for you for so long before you begin to feel the need to like be with a partner. This is just kind of, I feel like those that are refusing, to bring in love, this is more of like your spirits are low and like a sense of sadness, and almost you kind of looks like he's hiding. So I feel like don't hide from love. Again, you have the power to manifest your hopes and wishes, which is right here. So, the Star is a major arcana, and it represents your hopes and wishes. So whether your hopes are, and your wishes that, you want things to work out between you and your partner, you want to stay together, you want to stay married. I mean, the Magician is here telling you that you have the power to make your hopes and wishes happen this week. Notice how they're both major arcanas, but look at what Look at what is between them. Your hope, this is you kind of being in control, making all the magic happen. These are your hopes and wishes, two major arcanas, with someone being really fed up right in the middle. I feel like this is very significant. Very fed up. You just kind of reach the point where you're just going to snap. And it could be that you're going to give up, but yet like the magic is like right here. What you want is like so close, but some people may be thinking about kind of, throwing in the towel and giving up because they're not realizing how much control they have over the situation. Your hopes and wishes are so close, you can practically touch them, is what I'm getting. And the card down here is the Eight of Cups. So, this is a card of, changing your mind and having a change of heart, not feeling a connection to someone or something anymore, and choosing to walk away. Now, this is not going to apply to everyone, but for those of you where you kind of feel maybe you're in an abusive relationship. I mean, if you're in an abusive relationship, you'd want to like get out of there as quick as you can. I don't think there's anything to heal there. This just means you're allowed to start over. The Eight of Cups is telling you that you're allowed. I mean, it's lined up here with the Magician. You're allowed, to look for your own happiness because you're the one in control. So if you're in a, really kind of negative or abusive relationship, whether it's physical abuse or emotional abuse, I think same thing, you have every right to walk away. You hold all the power, even if you feel like you don't. But the Eight of Cups can also just mean that you have to leave like old emotions behind. Say goodbye to that baggage you've been carrying around, especially for those couples where there is no abuse and you're just kind of, you hit a bump. This card does not mean for everyone that you're leaving someone behind, but it does mean that you're leaving old, painful emotions behind. Because I kind of feel like this is robbing you of your power. It's making you feel like you've had enough and you don't want to pursue something anymore when your hopes and wishes are so close. Again, you're choosing to focus on fear. I mean, I always feel the Four of Coins or Pentacles. It's a fear-based card. You don't want to take a chance. That's scary. When this card comes up, but they're telling you here that you need to kind of like let go of something that's not bringing you happiness anymore and pursue what does make you happy. And ironically, right next to it is the Ace of Cups. This is love. This is either a new love coming into your life for those who are single, or it is, someone from the past, or, rekindling a relationship for those who are in a relationship where this is no good for you and, there's no fixing it. Maybe you just don't know how to end it. They're telling you that, once you kind of like say goodbye, someone that's not making you feel happy or fulfilled, here is someone new, someone who does love you and respect you. But like I said, for those, for who are single, once you let go of those fears and emotional baggage from the past, this is, a new love interest that is waiting to come into your life. So the final card is a Seven of Swords. So I feel like this is important. This is important because the Seven of Swords, it can be read in different ways. And sometimes it means that someone's lying to you, but I don't get that feeling at all. None of the cards support that. I feel like if anything, like you might be lying to yourself. Again, I feel like for those who are in a relationship where it's just like, whoo, that's not good at all. Remember, we started off with justice, and I felt like something is not fair to someone. Someone's being kept in limbo here. Someone's stuck. For those that know, again, it won't apply to everyone, that it's like a relationship you don't even want anymore. If you can let that go, there's a new partner here that really does deserve you and respect you and love you. But if you don't kind of take action and kind of leave someone behind, or those who are single, don't let if you don't let the past just rest and let go of the emotional baggage, this is where this card comes in. This card means that you're being your own worst enemy. You're not doing yourself any favors by holding on to what this is, whether it's a person or emotions. Love is literally like right in the middle here. Again, saying goodbye, letting go of baggage, or choosing to choosing to not look at what's going on. Maybe that, again, you're being very fear-based and not wanting to take a risk, and maybe finding, another partner, someone that really does resonate with you and you feel a connection to. Because when this card comes up, you no longer feel a connection to someone. It's just kind of like lukewarm feelings, and you want to look for happiness somewhere else. So I feel like someone is going through that in this week. But there is love here, a new love, or you're rekindling a relationship. But if you are rekindling a relationship, make sure you're not bringing any type of baggage, past arguments, whatever happened up here maybe, because this is just telling you you're being your own worst enemy. If you do that, you're just kind of bringing the same old energy back into the relationship. So I'm seeing like what is going on, like right here, like I said, the Hanged Man is just kind of like being in limbo and not quite knowing where you stand and not moving forward. And the Ten of Wands is just kind of reached it's like you've reached a boiling point where you're just like, you can't take anymore. You're just kind of exhausted. I kind of feel like for those that are in this energy of the Hanged Man, where you've been in limbo and going back and forth, I don't know, I feel like somebody like really does have to throw in the towel. And I feel like this may be in a relationship or a marriage that is just like, that this is not fair to you. This is not fair to you. But again, like I said, there is love here, a new partner waiting for you. And, looking at the reading like this, like I said, the Queen of Swords, she represents truth and clarity. And I feel like, going back to this card, this is, like being your own worst enemy. That's the way I'm reading it in this deck based on the cards that I see. Refusing, to see something. I feel like if you do this, like you're passing up not only, your love, a new love, or rekindling a relationship, which is represented by this card. Those who are refusing to see the truth, you're passing up your hopes and wishes. And all you're left with here is kind of like you're holding on. You're holding on to something. Like I said, whether it's a negative relationship or those who are single, you're holding on to the fact that you're single, but at least, no one's going to hurt you. But then again, you don't have anyone to love you. Okay, so the confirmation cards are Two of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, and the Chariot. And you have the Star again show this week, and you can either make magic happen because you have the Magician, or you can stay stuck and kind of in this energy of I'm just fed up and hold on here to something that doesn't serve you. Or like I said, if you're single, hold on to your money and your job, which is not going to bring you the happiness that you want. But the first card here, it's a Two of Wands. And to me, this card, it mostly represents like waiting. And I kind of feel like someone's like waiting for someone. I want to see how this ties in with the rest of the cards. So I feel like someone is like waiting for like the perfect time, the perfect moment for some type of like decision or action. I mean, look at what we have going on here. This is waiting, putting things on the back burner, things kind of, it's a card of non-action basically. This is a card of action, the Chariot. It's a major arcana, and it means there's a lot of movement. And sometimes it means travel, but it doesn't mean that you're being the magician. You're making this happen. So I feel like if you don't, I mean, look what's right in the middle. The Ten of Pentacles, which represents marriage, children, stability, your home life. It's like everything that you want. And the reason you're watching this video, it's here. And again, you are the magician. You can either make it happen this week. The star is here 2 times. Your hopes and wishes. You can either make it happen later, choose to wait, waiting for the perfect time. Maybe you're choosing, the 2 sometimes represents like choosing between 2 things or 2 people. You can keep stalling with this energy, or you can decide to just take charge. That's the Chariot. It's, you know, a victory card, but it means that you really kind of, you were determined and you were persistent and you made this happen. And marriage and children and happiness, like a happily ever after, are like right in the middle. So I feel like it's up to you. What happens this week is completely up to you. I feel like you have to really feel in control. Don't feel like everything is beyond your control. Because if you do that, again, 7 of Swords, you're being your own worst enemy. Okay, Virgo, I will end the reading here. I hope you enjoyed it. Much love and bless.